Hey everyone, Dr. Kim Chronister here, licensed clinical psychologist. Today we're talking about the emotional support animal benefits. How is it going to benefit you to have a therapy dog? Should you get one? And what are they all about? Alright, so what are the differences between service animals and emotional support animals? Well, basically, you don't need special training for emotional support animals as opposed to service animals. Service animals need special training. They're for people with disabilities that maybe have problems getting around the house. And emotional support animals are essentially helping you with mental health issues, some emotional instability, distress, etc. So what are the major benefits of having an emotional support animal, which some people call a therapy dog? Now, therapy dogs usually refer to dogs or animals that are actually brought into treatment centers for mental health clients, but we also call emotional support animals therapy dogs at times. A lot of times in my practice, people will ask me for letters for emotional support animals. And some people, not my clients, but some people abuse the system and maybe they don't necessarily need an emotional support animal, but they go ahead and try to get a letter anyway. But if you do have mental health issues like depression or anxiety, it's very beneficial to have an emotional support animal. So let's get into the research. What does the research say on emotional support animals? How do dogs and cats and rabbits help your mental health and your mood? Well, studies show that people with pets actually have more socialization. So we know that people are greeting others with pets more positively. They're approaching them more. They're actually giving them more positive gestures in public. So your socialization can increase based on research when you have a dog, for instance. Also, we know that your blood pressure actually decreases when you have a pet. So that's a big benefit of having an emotional support animal. Another really important benefit to having an emotional support animal is that you increase your chances of exercise. So if you have a dog, for instance, you're going to be more likely to take them for walks and you're going to get your activity up and increased at least every other day, daily, ideally. All right, so increased activity, lower blood pressure, improved mood. Let's talk about mood, for instance. Studies show that petting an animal actually increases oxytocin. Oxytocin is a neurochemical, a feel-good neurochemical in the brain that actually makes you feel connected. We call that the cuddle drug sometimes. So it's a cuddle mood enhancer basically that makes you feel more connected. So if you did have loneliness, an animal is a great cure for that because those oxytocin levels are rising in the brain when you're petting your animal. Again, with emotional support animals, it could be anything from a rabbit, a cat, a dog. Really, it's not as limited as a service animal, which service animals are actually dogs. According to a federal law, the Fair Housing Act, it actually states that you cannot be turned away from housing if you have an emotional support animal. So that's a big deal. You can't be turned away from housing just because you have a pet. If your pet is an emotional support animal, that's a huge deal. So it's a big benefit. All right, another tip is that your cortisol levels actually decrease. So what does that mean? You're better able to tolerate distress if you have an emotional support animal, a pet essentially. So that's huge. We're talking about distress tolerance, emotion dysregulation, improved mood. These are huge benefits of having an emotional support animal. Now make sure you're weighing the pros and cons of having an emotional support animal, a therapy pet. Why? Because let's say you get a puppy or a dog with a lot of medical problems, sometimes that can be so stressful that it actually negates the positives of having a pet. So make sure you're weighing those pros and cons, hopefully with a therapist, that's ideal, and then go ahead and process whether or not an emotional support animal is right for you. If you're willing to adopt and it makes sense for you, congratulations, and leave a comment. Let me know how. All right, everyone, good luck in your journey. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you want to be notified for future mental health videos, hit the bell button, and I will talk to you soon.